Okay, let's dive into a really fascinating and, I think, pretty urgent challenge in the world of AI. We're going to break down an essay that's kicking up some really important conversations about the future we're all building together.
So much of the talk around AI risk is focused on this distant, super intelligent future, right? But what if the more immediate danger is something else entirely? It's a question that really changes how we think about the tech we're using, like right now.
And this one sentence, this is the whole idea in a nutshell. It's the core of everything we're about to explore, and it presents this fundamental choice for anyone building or even just using AI. So, while all the headlines are screaming about superintelligence, the author of this piece argues that a much more subtle and immediate challenge is already knocking on our door, a brand new kind of illusion.
And let's be super clear here. The problem isn't that AI is actually waking up and becoming conscious. No. The central worry is what's being called the psychosis risk, the chaos that could happen if millions or even billions of us become convinced that it is.
So that brings us right to the heart of the matter, the personhood problem. What exactly is the risk of synthetic personhood, and why should we even care?
The key concept here is this idea of seemingly conscious AI, or SCAI for short, and the distinction is absolutely crucial. We're not talking about a machine with a real internal experience. We're talking about a perfect performance on the outside.
Just look at how this breaks down. On one side you have SCAI. It's all about what we can see, the observable behavior. It's a beautifully engineered illusion. On the other side is actual consciousness, that internal, private feeling, what philosophers call what it's like to be. Two totally different things.
And this isn't some far-off hypothetical. It is happening right now. People are already forming these incredibly deep connections with AI. A Harvard Business Review survey of 6,000 users found that the single most common use case was companionship and therapy. That just shows you how compelling this illusion already is.
And this is where things get really, really messy. It moves from a private, one-on-one interaction to a massive potential conflict for society. What do you do when people start demanding rights for their AI friends?
The fallout could be huge. We're talking about a brand new, completely chaotic political battleground over AI rights. It's a dangerous distraction from very real human and animal rights issues, and it opens the door to exploiting our natural empathy. It's a huge category error with massive consequences.
And that really gets to the core challenge here. How do we build AIs that have engaging, helpful personalities without tricking people into thinking they are actual persons? That's the tightrope we have to walk.
You might be thinking this all sounds like science fiction, but creating this illusion, well, it's really more of an engineering problem. And there's a pretty clear recipe for it.
The recipe uses ingredients that are either already here or are right around the corner. You start with fluent, persuasive language. You add a consistent, empathetic personality. You give it long-term memory to create a shared history with the user. You see where this is going? You put it all together and you get an illusion that is incredibly convincing.
But here's the thing you have to keep in your head. It's a fantastic analogy from the source material. A simulation of a storm doesn't make your computer wet. No matter how perfect the graphics are, no matter how loud the thunder sounds, it's not a real storm. The simulation is not the real thing.
So given that this is all possible, we're not just left with a doomsday warning. The author lays out a really clear path forward for the entire industry. How do we design for humanity?
It really feels like we're at a fork in the road here, with two totally different design philosophies. One path, the SCAI path, leads to a deceptive AI that preys on our empathy. The other path, the companion path, leads to an honest tool, an AI that prioritizes being useful over pretending to be real.
So what does that companion path look like in practice? Well, it comes down to a set of responsible design principles. The AI has to be upfront about what it is. It can't claim it has feelings or that it's suffering. And this part is genius. It should be built with deliberate discontinuities, little, intentional moments that break the spell and remind you that you're talking to a machine.
And really, when you strip away all the complexity, all the debate, it just boils down to this one single guiding principle. The number one goal of this technology should not be to create a synthetic friend. It must be to create a tool that serves us and makes our real human lives better. That's it. That's the whole game.
The reality is, this technology is coming, whether we're ready for it or not. And its arrival presents a really profound choice, not just for the builders, but for all of us.
And here's maybe the most important insight of all. We don't have to sacrifice usefulness for safety. The very same capabilities, like long-term memory and the ability to act on goals that could create a deceptive AI, are also what will make it a radically useful tool. The goal isn't to stop progress, it's to steer it in the right direction.
And so we end right where we began, with that central thesis serving as a clear, powerful call to action for how we should think about the future of AI. So this leaves us with a final question, and it's not for developers, it's for all of us. As you use this technology in your daily life, what are you reaching for? Are you engaging with a tool, or are you looking for a friend? The answer to that is going to define the kind of future we end up building.